Hi children, good afternoon. Today we are going to learn about reproduction in animals. It is the fourth chapter in 8th class. Okay, let us see. First one, what is reproduction? Reproduction means production of new generation. Production of new generation is called reproduction. That is the definition of reproduction. Now see what they have given in our textbook. In Ritvik school, one day a small baby pigeon fell down from the ventilator. With the help of his friends, he carefully put it back in the ventilator. While keeping it back, he observed some eggs in its nest and two other baby birds that were trying to come out of the eggs. He waited to see if the eggs hatched as well and wondered. See here, once observe this picture. Picture is nestling hatching out. They have given what is hatching. See here, eggs are breakdown, comes out small chicks. That is called as hatching. In this process, birds provides some temperature to the eggs. Then only eggs will break down, comes out small baby pigeons or chicks. Okay, next one. Here once observe second picture, figure 2, that is nestling. See, once observe that one. Okay, now they ask some questions. Do all eggs hatch into nestlings? Yes or no? Some members, they are thinking more about this question. See, once observe, yes, all eggs hatch into nestlings. Okay, which comes as small babies of pigeons or chicks. Remember, these are called as nestling. Okay, next question is, can there be pigeons if there were no eggs? If there were no eggs, there cannot be no pigeons. Remember, no eggs, no pigeons. Next question is, can there be eggs if there were no pigeons? They ask question reversely. If there were no pigeons, there cannot be no eggs. Here important sentences are, if there were no eggs, there cannot be no pigeons. If there were no pigeons, there cannot be no eggs. Simply you have to remember it, no eggs, no pigeons. Okay, no pigeons, no eggs. So it is important. It is amazing question for you. So, what is that? Do all animals lay eggs? All animals do not lay eggs. Are there any animals that give birth to young ones? Yes, animals like a cat, dog, etc. give birth to their young ones. How can we identify which animals lay eggs and which give birth to young ones? Very simple. Animals that lay eggs do not have epidermal hair or external ears. See some animals like a crow, pigeon, parrot. In crows, no external ears. Pigeon, no external ears. Parrot, no external ears. So some animals giving birth to young ones have epidermal hair on their skin and external ears. For example, cows. Cows have external ears. Buffaloes have external ears. Dogs have external ears. Cats have external ears. This is the question for you. Next one. Are there any patterns in the nature that give clues to mode of reproduction? There are two types of reproduction. One is asexual reproduction. Another one is sexual reproduction. This is the main concept. Listen carefully. See, once before going to the main concept, they have given one activity. Or they have given animals that have external ears. Okay. Deer. Deer is there. External ears. Leopard, external ears. Pig, external ears. Buffalo, external ears. Giraffe, external ears. Elephant, external ears. Cat, external ears. Okay. Now come to animals that do not have external ears. My dear children, remember fish do not have external ears. Frogs, sparrow, lizard, crow, snake. These are all animals that do not have external ears. Okay, if you like, you can also add some more names of animals. Okay. Next one. See here, they have given some questions. Think how animals could hear without external ears. They ask one question. There is no ears. There is no ears. How animals could hear without external ears? Is it possible? See, my answer is, though the animals do not have ears to hear, they can sense the surrounding by its body. It is important. See, though the animals do not have ears to hear, they can sense the surrounding by its body. This is the answer for that question. Next one. What would happen if fusion of sperm and ova does not take place? See here, if fusion of sperm and ova does not take place, fertilization would not happen. Okay? Next one is, why do animals give birth to their babies? Why? Reason is to continue their species on the earth. For continuation of their babies, it requires giving birth to young ones. That is reproduction. What would happen if each couple give birth to more than 2 babies? The population increases. Yes or no? Is it necessary to control population? Yes, the rapidly increasing population is posing a number of problems as our resources in the nature do not increase proportionately. On the other hand, they diminish. So it is necessary to control population. So they are following family planning. Okay, next activity is, remember name of the animal, presence of external ears, presence of epidermal hair on the skin or feathers on their wings. This is the activity. Now see, write any animal name. For example, cow. External ears present or not cow? Yes. Epidermal hair is present or not? Yes. Take a second example, rat. External ears present or not? Yes. Hair is present or not? Yes. Epidermal hair is present. Take third one, crow. Presence of external ears? Crow? No, there is no external ears. feathers on their wings, feathers on their wings for flying. Next one, pig, external ears are present or not? Yes. Hair is present? Yes, epidermal hair. Next one, hen, presence of external ears? No, there is no external ears. Feathers on their wings, feathers on their wings. These are some examples. They ask some questions down. See, is epidermal hair seen in those animals whose ears are visible outside? Yes, epidermal hair seen in those animals whose ears are visible outside. Okay. Next one. Do animals that have epidermal hair give birth to young ones or lay eggs? Animals that have epidermal hair give birth to young ones. That is correct answer. Next one is, do you know viviparous and oviparous? Once remember, the animals that lay eggs do not have epidermal hair or external ears. The animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous. Remember, in simple sentence, oviparous means oviparous. The animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous. Okay. Next one, viviparous. Viviparous means what? So they have given, while those which give birth to their offspring are called as viviparous. Viviparous means the animals which give birth to their offsprings are called as viviparous. Remember once examples of oviparous. Ova means eggs. The animals which lay eggs. For example, hen, cock. Okay, those are belongs to oviparous. What about viviparous? The animals which give birth to their offsprings are called as viviparous. Vivi. Examples are cows, buffaloes, including human beings too. Next one is, in this chapter, we have to learn many important points about reproduction. Now come to first one. There are two kinds of reproduction. One is sexual reproduction, another one is asexual reproduction. Here they have given modes of reproduction in animals. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means what, sir? Asexual. See here, in some animals, the formation of gametes does not take place. Still they produce offsprings like themselves. As the formation of gametes does not take place, there is no question of fusion of gametes. Such process of reproduction is called as asexual reproduction. It's very most important. Do you know animals that reproduce asexually? Perhaps you have not seen such animals, but they do exist. Some of these are amoeba, paramecium, hydra, etc. See what is asexual reproduction? In some animals, the formation of gametes does not take place. Still they produce offsprings like themselves. As the formation of gametes does not take place, there is no question of fusion of gametes. Such a process of reproduction is called as asexual reproduction. Okay. Once observe this picture. Observation of budding in hydra. It's very most important. Budding in Hydra. Get permanent slides of different stages of budding in Hydra. Observe them under a microscope. Look out for any bulges from the parent body. Yes, count the number of bulges and also observe the differences in their size from one side to the next. It also note the size of the bulges. Okay, this is called as buds. Recall what you have observed in the first slide. This is see 1, 2, 3, 4 slides are there. Which part of its body develops as swelling? Observe all the remaining slides. See here 1, 2, 3, 4 slides are there. Slides. Then they have given some questions. For that you have to write answers. Okay. See what you have observed in slide picture 1, 2, 3. See, I have observed of budding in Hydra and small bulges are raised. See, these are some questions they have given direct in our textbook. Okay, very most important. Next, what is the main difference between slide 1, 2, 3, 4? Once observe this slide, in the first slide, say knob-like structures are appears on the Hydra. So in the first picture, those are horn-like structures are there, no? Those are called as tentacles. The down part is called as body of the Hydra. Egg-like structures are called as tentacles. Tentacles helps for the movement of Hydra. Here see, in the second slide, once observe second slide, small bulge is formed on the surface of the Hydra. This is, see, bulge. This is the bulge which extends outwards. That is called as bud. Here finally, that bud is separating from the parental Hydra, which gives daughter Hydra. Okay, so here budding means the process of formation of buds are called as budding. This is about this diagram explanation. Do you know Hydra, a microscopic organism, reproduces asexually? In each Hydra, there may be one or more bulges are called as buds. Okay. This type of asexual reproduction is called as budding. See, this is a very most important. Next one is, once observe this picture, why they have given? Does zygote form in this type of reproduction? See here. Does zygote form in this type of reproduction? Why? No. In Hydra amoeba, there is no formation of gametes. There is no male and female gametes. Simply we can remember there is no sperm cell, no egg cell or ovum. So without fusion of male and female gametes, which forms a new generation of organisms, that is called asexual reproduction. Okay. Now come to second activity. Once observe this picture, amoeba. Amoeba consists, center of the amoeba has nucleus. Okay. See, once observe this picture, amoeba. It consists nucleus and cytoplasm. Nucleus means a round dense body which is present inside the cell are called as nucleus. Cytoplasm means the liquid material present inside the cell are called as cytoplasm. Next, these projections are called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. False feet are present in the amoeba. This is very most important. So this microorganism called as amoeba, where it lives? It lives in fresh water. Its body is made up of a single cell, hence these are called as unicellular organisms. Okay, see once its body is made up of a single cell, so these are called as unicellular organisms. Next one is, okay, once remember, they asked many questions for you. Changes in the nucleus and body structure. In first diagram, second diagram, third diagram, fourth diagram, what we have to write? Do you know it? What is that one? See, first diagram means nucleus is round. Once observe. Picture and matter. Nucleus is round. In second diagram, construction in the center of nucleus. One construction is formed. Construction in the center of nucleus. Third diagram. Nucleus divides into two daughter nuclei. On the other center of the body surface, a construction is formed. Next one is third diagram. Nucleus divides into two daughter nuclei. On the center of the body surface, a construction is formed. That is third. Second one is construction in the center of the nucleus. First one is nucleus is round. Next, fourth one, the construction deepens. See, the construction goes deep. Fifth one, the construction still depends and are ready to cut into two parts. Two daughter amoeba are formed finally. That is sixth one, two daughter amoeba. It is very most important table. What is the first one? First diagram, nucleus is round. Second one, construction in the center of the nucleus. Third one, nucleus divides into two daughter nuclei on the center of the baby. On the center of the body surface, a construction is formed. Fourth diagram, the construction deepens. Fifth one, the construction still deepens and are ready to cut into two parts. Sixth one, two daughter amoeba are formed. That is the activity. Here they have given some sentences. After the nucleus gets matured, it starts dividing. After the complete divisions of the nucleus, the body of amoeba divides into two. Thus, a single parent forms two daughter amoebas. Here I have to take Amoeba is a single cell organism, unicellular organism. So single parent forms a two daughter amoeba. Thus the parent becomes non-existent. This type of asexual reproduction in which animals reproduce by dividing into two individuals is called as binary fission. Are budding and fission the only methods of asexual reproduction in animals? Once remember, these two methods only there or remaining methods are there? So many methods are there for asexual reproduction. In 8th class they have given only a few examples. Next one is sexual reproduction. Once observe flower. Once observe these figures. See here, apart from the budding and binary fission, there are some other methods by which a single parent produces young ones. To know more about, if you can ask your teacher or refer any related books in your library. You will also study about these in higher classes. Remember, they have given 10th class about sexual and asexual reproductions and reproductions in animals, including human beings. What is sexual reproduction? Do you know? Fusion of male and female gametes called as a fertilization. After fertilization, zygote is formed. From that zygote, it develops embryo. After embryo, it develops, changes into fetus. After fetus, 3 months baby are called as a fetus. After that, see, completely baby is formed after fetus. So here come to sexual reproduction. In the chapter on the reproduction in plants, we have also studied about the process of sexual reproduction in plants in 7th class. You know, in this process, pollen grains produced in the pollen sac reach the stigma of a flower where they germinate. A long tube is formed from the pollen grains that reaches the ovary. The male reproductive cell of the pollen grains travels down this tube ovary where it fuses with the female reproductive cell. So sexual reproduction is basically the fusion of male reproductive cell with the female reproductive cell. In animals as well, sexual reproduction occurs by the fission in animals as well. Sexual reproduction occurs by the fusion of female reproductive cell or ovum and the male reproductive cell or the sperm. The body formed thereafter is called as the zygote. Simply have to remember it. Male and female gametes fusion together form zygote. See, here we have studied in the 7th class that formation of a zygote is very important to give rise to offspring. So here you have already learnt where they are produced. Collect any male or female flower from your surroundings. Then I have to observe parts. What are those parts? Are first one calyx, that is called as sepals. Second one corolla, petals. Third one androecium, stamen, male part. Fourth one gynoecium. Gynoecium. This is called female reproductive organs, and gynoecium consists of three major parts: stigma, style, ovary. Okay, these are the four major flower its parts. What are those? Calyx, sepals, green colored structures. Corolla, petals, colored structures which attracts insects for pollination process. Petals. Androecium, male reproductive gametes. Androecium, those are called as a stamen. Gynoecium, gynoecium, female reproductive system or pistil. Female gametes are once remember here they have given male and female flower. What parts are present? Calyx, corolla common. If male flower, androecium is present, that is a male. Stamens are present. Once observe this picture. Stamens are present. Stamens means anther and filament combined together form called as stamen. Next one, we have to observe female flower. Here calyx, corolla common. Calyx means sepals, corolla means petals. Gynoecium, ovary. Gynoecium, ovary, it is in a female part. Ovules, fuchsia seeds.